Are you wanting to try that super viral TV lighting coloring style that's been like all over TikTok? So what it is, it's adult coloring pages using Copic markers and creating a really cool lighting effect just using Copic markers. Honestly, Copic markers are so expensive. They cost about $8 a marker where I'm from. And you need a whole lot of Copic markers to create this cool effect. So if you've been wanting to try this style, but you don't want to spend a small fortune, I got you. I created an alcohol marker brush pack for Procreate. It gives that same blendy marker look without the high price tag, and I actually have it for sale in my Etsy shop right now, and it actually costs less than one marker. With this brush set, you get endless color possibilities, 18 different marker styles, and zero commitment to restocking markers when they dry out. And honestly, recreating this look digitally is much more my speed. So let's see if we can nail that TV lighting effect digitally here in Procreate. I'll walk you through it step by step, and if you would like to follow along, I have linked my brush set in the description. And if you would like to use the same coloring page, I have linked it in my Patreon. Sorry, I've got two links for you there, but they are there if you would like to follow along and try this as well. So here is the coloring page I'll be using today. I drew this one myself. I've called it Late Night Viddies, and I've got a little coloring palette that I've also named Late Night Viddies, and these will both be available on my Patreon, so go ahead and click the link in the description if you want to also use this coloring page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with a base of just each color that I want in each section. I'm not going to do any shadowing or lighting effects yet. I'm just going to fill this in like a typical coloring page, and then once we've done that, we'll start doing the lighting effects. So I'm just going to use my classic alcohol marker pretty much for this whole illustration. I'll just go ahead and take you through the time lapse of coloring this in. Okay, so here is my coloring page all colored in, and I made sure that I stuck to just one layer, just like a traditional coloring page, because I wanted to make this as much like a real coloring page as I possibly could. And I even left a lot of the marker texture and even some little spots where I missed, because personally I just want to get that real coloring page feeling, that nostalgic feeling of coloring something in and trying to stay in the lines and still getting those subtle imperfections, because, you know, I'm just coloring in with some markers and I'm just trying to recreate that feeling, I guess. So now I just want to add a couple of shadows before I add the actual TV lighting. There's going to be some major shadows going on that will be part of that lighting, but I just want to add some subtle little hints of shadow, like, so the TV light is going to be shining on our little bunny here, so he's going to be blocking part of this pillow and stuff like that. So I'm just going to add a few parts like that. So I'm just going to add a layer above my marker layer, and I'm going to use this to add some shadows. So the first thing I want to do is I want to turn on a clipping mask, and I want to set this to multiply. This is very much not like a real coloring page, but I did that for the first layer, and now I'm going to add a little bit of convenience that Procreate offers me. So it's just a little bit of a mashup of the two worlds coming together, actual coloring and convenience and beauty of Procreate. So we're going to use this feature. So I'm just going to go through it, and I'm just going to add these little areas where there would definitely be some shadow and some areas where the light is being blocked. So now I just want to add a little bit of shine or highlight where the light from the TV would be illuminating the most, so mainly on our character here. So I have a new layer added. I will do another clipping mask and set this to screen. Screen's my favorite for highlight, and I'm just going to choose this bright color here. It's going to be a little bit harder because he's already light, but it's showing up very nicely. So I'm just going to add a few more points of highlight where this would be the most prominent. Okay, so now for the fun part, and that is adding the TV lighting. Although we colored in this whole entire page, we're going to be covering some major parts of it with the shadow to really drive home the TV lighting. So what I'll do is I'll add a new layer, and that's going to be unclipped to anything. And I may turn down the opacity, but first let's kind of map out where we want our actual lighting to be. So I'm going to choose this sort of gray color here. And likely I will need to turn down that opacity, but first we'll just kind of eyeball where the lighting of the TV would shine on the most. I would say it would start at the top corner and then it would end at the bottom corner. So this whole area would be illuminated the most. So now that we've got that, what I want to do is I want to color in this whole section and this whole section, and then everything sort of behind this TV here and there is going to be this gray color. So first I want to kind of give myself a little area to test because look, because it is covering all of that, let's go ahead and play with the opacity in this area just to sort of see where we would like it. So right there, about 50% is perfect. 50%, that makes sense. So now I'm just going to fill in the rest of this area to give us that TV lighting. And I'm going to turn up the size of my brush just to make this go faster. So here we have our TV lighting. You can see that the TV is illuminating just our character playing video games. And you can, of course, play with the opacity on the shadowing, and you can turn it up if you really wanted to make it seem like this guy is staying up really late playing video games, and all that's lighting the room is him playing, you know, whatever. So I'm just gonna fix this part right here. So I think it's really cute, and I think the Copic marker brush set or my alcohol marker brush set really creates that Copic marker look. This is a great way to learn that style. If you want to invest in Copic markers and you want to try it out first, use this Procreate brush set. It's going to be a great way to learn this style and learn using this type of alcohol marker and blending without making a huge investment. So go ahead and click on the link in the description to purchase this. You've got endless colors and so many options on how the marker will look. I can't recommend this enough because I got to try this really cool coloring effect with minimal investment, and I think it's one that you're gonna really enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you see the potential in this brush set like I do, because endless Copic markers just seems pretty perfect to me. I would love to do another art project with you, so go ahead and click on this one here. I have a feeling it's going to be one that you'd like, so I will see you there.